All right, it's 8:20 here, Big 550 KTRS. He likes to Skype in, and we love that he does. His name is Dr. Michael Lim. He's with St. Louis University. He's a cardiologist. Good morning, doctor. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. My pleasure.
Talk to us about Go Red for Women. What is this?
Well, Go Red for Women is a campaign that the American Heart Association put on. It's been going on for quite a while now, and its main purpose is to really put the word out that heart disease in women is a major problem. And it turns out that it's still the number one killer in women in this country. It has been for a while. And we need to raise the awareness so that women in this country start taking active control over their health and their heart health.
You hear a lot about men and their hearts and their heart disease and all of that. How come you don't hear about women? That's really odd.
Well, I think part of this is an age thing. And so when men get their heart attacks and their heart disease, they're younger. But women get when they're older. It turns out that it's a major problem when they end up getting them. They end up not recognizing that their symptoms really are from their heart. They end up having more significant disease, and they end up having more heart attacks and dying from them.
And doctor, and the thing about women and heart attacks, like you were just mentioning, the symptoms are much different than they are in men. They're not as pronounced.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know about not as pronounced, but they're different. And so if we think about the classic heart attack symptoms as the old Fred Sanford episode, where he grabbed his chest and lifted his hand up and he says, "I'm coming to meet you, Elizabeth." You know, that's not what women get with respect to the chest pressure, chest discomfort all the time. They can get it, and if they get it that way, they need to recognize that potentially is from their heart. But they also could have just shortness of breath or fatigue for no other reason. I'm just tired all the time and I can't figure out why. And that when we talk about atypical symptoms, shortness of breath and fatigue are two of those which are very prominent.
Okay, different symptoms. Do we get it the same way? Eating poorly, smoking, drinking, red meats, all those types of things?
Oh, yeah. So the concept still happens very similar. So you have genes that you can't do anything about. You have a poor lifestyle, which is maybe not necessarily exercising as much as you could and taking as good a care of yourself. You have high cholesterol, you have high blood pressure, you have diabetes, and you have smoking, and all of those things play a role into developing of the plaques within the arteries to the heart, leading to blockage of blood flow, sometimes leading to those plaques breaking open and having a heart attack.
Do you treat it the same way? Do you put stents in women just like you do men?
Well, we do. In a lot of ways, we have the same treatments for men and for women. When women present, oftentimes their disease with respect to how many blockages they have or how severe they are much more severe. Interesting how I'm talking to you today. I know you have a partnership with the Post-Dispatch. The Post-Dispatch has an article today about our emergency room director, nurse, who had a heart attack. And it goes through all these things really nicely. And it talks about what she was feeling when she really had a heart attack. And she's very lucky to still be with us because she didn't recognize it necessarily as a heart attack, and she wanted to do all these other things about maybe it's indigestion and that type of thing. And so that's a good read for your listeners if they got the time.
Thank you, doctor. What about bypass surgery? You hear it so often in men. Do women get bypass surgery?
Absolutely. Bypass surgery really has progressed now. About 20 years ago, we were doing bypass surgery on a whole lot of folks. Bypass surgery numbers have gone down, but the average age of the people we do bypass surgery on has increased, and the number of women that we do bypass surgery on has increased significantly.
But the good news is a lot of this can be preventable.
Well, the good news is it can be, and that's the whole point, coming full circle with respect to the Red Dress campaign and Wear Red is to increase awareness, because to get the concept out there, know your blood pressure, know your risk factors like your cholesterol, exercise, try to eat a low-fat diet, understand your risk of heart disease, and work with your doctors to keep that as low as possible.
In 2013, doctor, many people don't have primary care physicians. They don't go see a doctor on a regular basis or even a semi-regular basis. I bet you there are women listening to this who can't remember the last time they went to a doctor. You recommend going to a doctor and then asking about, hey, will you check my heart, and I guess do a checkup on all things, including your heart, to find out where you are in this process?
Yeah, what I would recommend would be to ask this question and say, what is my risk for heart disease and having a heart attack or a stroke, which is very, very similar? And have the doctor work through those things with them. And if they're not satisfied or they want to come to see a heart specialist for that, we certainly are well versed to be able to really take people and look at their history and everything they bring to the table and talk to them about their risk. And more importantly, what you can do to lower your risk.
That is Dr. Michael Lim via Skype in his office. Friday is Go Red for Women. Doctor, where can people find out more information?
Well, they can come to www.sluheart.com, or they can go to the American Heart Association webpage, and the American Heart Association has great tips and great pointers and great risk assessment tools for everybody.
Doctor, thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for Skyping. Be safe, and we'll talk to you down the road.
My pleasure. Have a great day.
You got it. Dr. Michael Lim with us here on the Big 550 KTR.